Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any comments or any videos that you would like me to make, please enter it below the video. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. With the fast cooking system, which is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, you have a lot of flexibility in how to prepare your meal. Of course, the fast system is designed for efficiency because it will allow you to put a meal on the table using all fresh ingredients from scratch, usually somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes. But the fast cooking system, most importantly, is that it allows you to create the flavor you love and enjoy. Because the saying goes that we love flavor first before we love food. Once you're able to cook exactly the flavor how you like it, home cooking becomes sustainable. Because in this case, you will not want anybody else to cook for you because you know you are your own very best cook. Now, one of the most important aspects in food is the sauce. A sauce plays a critical role in many different ways. Some food has a sauce and some dishes with no sauce. For example, Jerry told me the story about a particular dish that he cooked. He cooked them in two different versions. One version, he cooked it with minimum amount of sauce. But another version, he cooked it with a lot of sauce. And the reason for that is because different people like the dish differently. For example, his son liked the dish with almost no sauce at all. But on the other hand, his wife liked the dish with a lot of sauce. And based on his personal experience, he told me that a dish with and without sauce is an entirely different culinary experience. So what is sauce? Why sauce plays such an important role? And how you should control the level of sauce in your dish? And one of the reasons I did this video because I have a viewer and he wrote to me from Serbia. And his name is Cedric. He told me that his wife Anne likes dish with minimum amount of sauce. And he asked me, how do you create a dish with only a small amount of sauce but still make it delicious and tasty? And this is the video I would like to tell you my personal experience with sauce and how I look at sauce. Now, when it comes to sauce, we're all familiar with sauces that we use frequently in our own food. For example, every time you go to have French fries, you use a sauce. In fact, some people never eat French fries without ketchup. So ketchup is a sauce that allows you to change the flavor of the food ingredients. And there are many other types of sauces which people use on a regular basis. Now, in stir fry, the situation is quite unusual because stir fry allows you to create a dish with or without sauce. And you can create a dish with different level of sauce depending on how you like it. Now, sauce actually plays the most important role is that it's able to control the flavor of a dish. A lot of time, you use sauce basically to change the characteristic of a dish. In this case, you use hoisin sauce in a dish called mushu pork. Now, your experience eating this mushu pork will be very different with or without hoisin sauce. And most people like it with hoisin sauce. It actually defines the dish. In here are two wraps. One of the wrap is a sauce with hoisin sauce and chicken. Other one with almost like a mayonnaise. Again, you will have very different experience in enjoying these two different wraps. So from that standpoint, it is very clear is that sauce play a significant role. Now, in the case of Cedric, he told me that his wife does not like to have dish with a heavy sauce. The reason why? Because he said his wife likes to able to taste the natural flavor of the food ingredients. When you have a sauce, you're going to cover it up. There are many examples around the world with cuisine that have a heavy sauce. Basically, what you taste is the sauce. For example, spaghetti meal is a good example. The spaghetti sauce plays a central role. When you have a spaghetti meal, the food ingredients really do not play as big a role. You actually cannot taste the flavor of the food ingredients. This is similar true with Indian cuisine. Indian cuisine, although are very diverse, but most Indian cuisine use a heavy sauce. And when you have such a heavy sauce, one of the most significant aspects is that the heavy sauce actually is really useful when you want to eat it with carbohydrate. For example, in spaghetti, the noodles plays a central role, and when you have a heavy spaghetti sauce, it really helps you to carry the noodles. And you can eat the noodles in a way in the context of the sauce. Indian food the same way, except in Indian food, the carbohydrate is rice. And a great Indian sauce goes excellently with rice. And I love Indian food, and I have to have rice with Indian food. And then some other type of dishes, such as mashed potatoes. The sauce is also very important because without gravy, it will not make a good mashed potatoes. Now, however, there are different styles of cooking. And this is what Cedric's wife, Anna, is talking about. There's some style of cooking, the food ingredients plays a much important role than the sauce. And in this particular case, probably the most well-known cuisine is the Cantonese style. Now, Cantonese food is considered to be the best cuisine in China. And probably for many people, it's considered to be the best cuisine in the world. Now, Cantonese food has very little sauce. And the end result is that you can really savor the natural flavor of the food ingredients. But in order for this to be successful, one of the most important things is that the natural ingredients of the food has to be excellent. You've got to have excellent fresh produce, fresh meat, so that you can actually enjoy the flavor of the natural food ingredients. And secondly is that when it comes to Cantonese food, it is well known the food is very lightly cooked. And the end result is that it gives you great flavor. Now, Cantonese food also use sauce. They use a sauce known as oyster sauce. I have talked about oyster sauce in the past. Oyster sauce is a special sauce because it is really mild in flavor. The most important aspect of the oyster sauce is that it is enhance the umami flavor of a dish because the oyster sauce is rich in umami molecules. And by adding a small amount of oyster sauce, the goal is not to overwhelm the natural flavor of the food ingredients. Rather, it is designed to enhance it. So when you cook with Cantonese food, the oyster sauce used usually in a small quantity rather than in a large amount. It tries not to cover up the natural flavor. In this dish, the bok choy is intended for it to taste like bok choy. In this case, the chicken intended for it to taste like chicken. Now, if you cook with other type of cuisine which use very heavy sauce, such as a spaghetti meal, you just get the texture of the chicken because you will not able to taste the flavor of the chicken since it will be overcome by the tomato sauce. So when you come to cook up any dish, I think it's all going to be the intention of what you want to achieve. If you want to taste the natural flavor of the food ingredients, then you should use a very light sauce. However, if you want to use the sauce and the dish to carry the carbohydrate, then it's a different story. Now, when I cook, I use only a small amount of sauce. I usually put my sauce in a squeeze bottle. And that has a lot of advantage when you put a sauce in a squeeze bottle because now you can add the sauce spontaneously as well as intuitively. You do not have to follow a particular recipe of how many tablespoons that you want to add. Instead of you add it and you taste it, after a while you know exactly how much you want to add. So I put all my commonly used sauce in squeeze bottles. When you use this approach, you can create very light sauce because during the process, depending on the food ingredients that you have, you can only use a small amount of sauce, or you can also use more, and you can use different combination of sauce to create the ultimate flavor that you want. So there are many different ways to approach of how to use sauce. And quite often, you can combine different type of sauces together. Like here, I use some spicy sauce. Sauce does play an important role. But in my personal opinion, I like my dish to be light in sauce. Because ultimately, the flavor of your dish, the best way to construct the flavor is to include the natural ingredients that have the texture, have the flavor, that will work together with each other. And this will create a complexity of flavor that will not be able to achieve if you overwhelm them with sauce. So the advanced prepping is one way to help you to enhance and refine your flavor chasing. Because through advanced prepping, you have many food ingredients that you can choose from. So consequently, you can select the right combination of ingredients to create the flavor that you're looking for. And once you achieve that, you can further enhance it with just a small amount of sauces. And the consequence is that it will give you a lot of flexibility, and you can create dishes that, in my mind, is going to be most flavorful, because the complexity of the flavor of different food ingredients is ultimately to provide the enjoyment that you are looking for. And this also will greatly enhance the satiation, because it has been always shown that the more complex the flavor, the more likely you feel satiated. And this is the concept of nutritional wisdom, because we're always looking for the nutritional value in our food based on the complexity. The more complex, the greater the nutritional value is going to be. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your normal routine. And the end result is that by using my fast cooking system, you can make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun. So if you'd like to learn more about my cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.